Welcome. I am so excited that you are here. This is the first time that I'm really pulling back the curtain and sharing with you basically my expert mom CEO secrets. So I'm really excited you're here because if you're here, it really means you have big goals and dreams. And those are the expert moms who have big goals and dreams who want to hit six figures or your next six figures in the next 6 months. You are my favorite people to work with. One, because you are committed. Two, because you have really big goals and dreams. And three, because you know you're an expert, but you just need some help putting it all together. And maybe right now, you really want that balance between work and being with your kids and work and being with your family, or making more money and still being there for your family. And I want you to know that I get it and I got you. I got you. I am all about women having a really big life and being able to balance it. I don't want to say all, but balance what you want to balance. Balance what is your priority. And that has been my mission for my past few years, and my vision and my mission to being able to share that with you really is just the best part of my day. I will tell you a little bit about myself, but the minimum I want you to know right now is, one, I have been doing this for 11 years. I quit my teaching. I was a 4th grade special ed teacher in a co-teaching classroom, and I quit 5 years, after 5 years, to be a health coach and start my own food product business. And I would say quickly, but if you call 11 years quick, we have done over 7 figures in sales. And I want to share with you my secrets of being a mom, being a CEO, and being able to have a fantastic business that makes a lot of money in between the hours I work when my kids are at school. So if you want to do the same thing, if you want to have a 6-figure business and you want to be able to do that in about 10 hours a week, then you're in the right spot. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get started. I'm going to walk you through some things, and there is a download that comes with this video, so make sure you grab it. And I'm just going to tell you transparently right now, if you know you want help and you know you want support and you know you need a team of people around you to help you get to 6 figures or your next 6 figures, then I want you to fill out the application. And I'm telling you this right now because I believe, 1, in being upfront, and 2, in being transparent. And I know that if you are a mom who's an expert and you need some help getting to 6 or your next 6 figures without working crazy long hours, without doing crazy complicated launches, then I can 100% help you. And I do this every single day. So if you are that person and you know you need help and support, then fill out an application and we will see if you are a right fit. Okay, let's dig in. So I'm going to share my screen here and I'm going to walk you through it. So I have my iPad here and I have my slides here. So these are my 7-figure mom CEO secrets. And who is this for? This is primarily for expert mom coaches. So now, what do I mean by that? If you know you're an expert, if you know you are good at what you do, if you know that you help people, if you know that you can get your clients amazing results, and you know you need to communicate it better, you know you need to really figure out how to attract those people and sell to them in a way that makes you feel good, then you're in the right spot. So moms who are experts, who want to hit 6 to 7 figures this year in school hours. Now, maybe some of you have kids who are younger than school hours, or they're younger than kindergarten. And I totally get that. My youngest is 4 right now. So for the past few years, she was not in kindergarten. She's not yet in kindergarten. So I totally get it. And like I said, I've been doing this for 11 years and my oldest is 9.5. So I was my own boss through all of those baby years with all three of my kids. So I completely get wanting to be able to work 10 hours a week. Right now, where we sit 11 years in, I still like to sit in that 15-hour spot. I don't like to go much over that. And so I'm going to share with you my exact framework that I follow to balance between work and kids. I believe in balance. I do believe it's possible. I do believe it's possible, and it can be possible for you too. I'll also talk about learn the 3 steps to focus on to 2 to 3 to 4 times your revenue while working 10 hours a week. So just to give you some background, like I said, I've been doing this for 11 years. It'll be 11 years in June. So depending on when you're watching this, it may or may not have hit the 11-year mark. So this is me. I was a teacher, a 4th grade teacher, and I loved it until I didn't. I had the Sunday scaries. I would wake up in the middle of the night. I would wait for the weekends and vacations, and I just couldn't do it anymore. If you've ever been in that place where you're waking up in the middle of the night, like, what the heck am I doing with my life? Then you probably get this. So I started my own food business and was a health coach as well. So right here, this was our food product. We were in Whole Foods, we were in a bunch of food stores, we were in TJ Maxx, we were in Home Goods, we were in local stores around us. I don't know, did I say Whole Foods? We were on Amazon.com, we were in Thrive Market. So this was our food product. And then here I also did some like influencer type work, which was very interesting as well. So our business has evolved. When we shut down our food business in 2018 because we had our 3rd baby girl and we were doing too much. We had coaching and consulting and we had a food business. And it was time to say, stop doing all the things. I was doing too much and it was affecting my family. So if you have been in that place where you feel like you're doing too much right now, if you're not taking time off, if you're not seeing or being present with your kids enough, then I also get that. So where am I now? These are some more recent pictures. We spend every single summer at the beach. I live on Long Island, New York, and the beach and the summer is a really special time for us. So we go down to about 10 hours a week over the summer, and our revenue does not dip because of that. That's really important. And right now, like I told you, 10 hours a week over the summer, I sit around 15 hours a week during the week. And these are my 3 baby girls. Olivia is in the middle. She's the oldest, and then Mila and Isabel. And if you are in a season right now that is challenging, that is hard, that is confusing, and you feel like you're lacking clarity, I just want you to know that I get it. I have been there. I see you and I hear you. And this is really, really important to me for you to know that, because the communities that I host are containers, and where you'll learn about our program a little bit at the end. It's really important that you know that there is a group of people who are just like you, that are getting the help and support and surrounding themselves with people who lift them up. It's really important. So if you're in a challenging season, I get it. And if you are in a season that's challenging and you're like, I want to work more, I want to help more people, I want to make more money, then I get that too. I get that too. And I have been you. And that's exactly why I started on this journey, because I had the desire to work more. And if you don't know, like my husband, Dan, and I, we are partners in this business. And this started because when I had my youngest, I said to him, I want to work more. And we had the food business, we were doing some coaching and consulting. I didn't know what I wanted to do with the more. I didn't know what I wanted to do with more of that time, but I knew I was being called to something bigger. And I knew I wanted to do more than just not just, I knew, I felt like I was just being a mom, and that is so many roles, right? But I wanted to do more. And that's how I started. It continued on to this journey. So if you're feeling that pull of like, I don't want to just be mom, one, I want you to know right now in this moment, you are not just mom. You are you. You're not just mom. And it's really important that you start to see yourself as more than that, because even in this moment, you are so much more. You're so much more. And mom is a pretty great, pretty big, pretty powerful role, right? And think about how much more powerful you are when you start to own that. And the fact that you're here and you're dreaming big, the fact that you're here and you want more, means that you were meant for this. And that's really important, because sometimes we start to doubt and question what we want or what we're doing, but just because you're here means you're meant for this. And what you desire is destined for you. So how do we go from dreaming it to making it happen? So this is gonna, I'm really gonna talk about how I made my first 100K and how we have repeated that in the past 11 years. Okay, so number one, holy moly, this is a really big one, support. Support. Now, support is not just, it's not just one thing. Support is layered. This is emotional support. This is physical support. So having help with your kids or around the house. And this is also strategic support. One of the things I started doing immediately in our business was investing in support, because I knew I wanted to be and learn from other people who have done more than me. And all three of these are equally important, because I want you to know that you are not alone. And if you have a partner, if you have family, they can support you without having to understand what you are doing. So I just want you to know that not everyone is going to get or understand what you do, and that's okay. They don't have to. You can still ask for help and support, even if they don't get it, okay? So that's one thing that's really important, because my husband did not really get what I was going for when I said I want more help. And he still supported me in it, but he didn't get it. And it's the same thing with your partners or your family. They might not get it, but you can still ask for help and get that support. And this is emotional support and hands-on help. I am the queen of trying to do things on my own, especially emotionally. And once I started sharing that responsibility with my partner and with my friends, and being vulnerable and sharing what I was going through, I started to feel the weight of everything I was trying to do come off my shoulders. So that's what I want you to know is this is physical support. Yes, this is getting help with your kids. Yes, but this is also emotional support. If you've been holding it in and trying to keep your dreams and your fears all to yourself, you're carrying a lot of weight and responsibility on your shoulders, and that can be shared, and you can share it, and people want to support you. So that's the really good thing. The more you share, the more people will show up for you to help you, which is really cool. And like I said, this is helping your family and in your business. So what would it be like for you if you had a group of people who got you, who were there for you to see you, hear you, listen for you, say, I get it, I've been there, and here's how I dealt with and supported that. Here's how I went through this. Here's how I can support you. Like, you deserve that. You deserve that. If you have big dreams, big goals, big vision, that environment that you're a part of is huge. And here's some, these are from our last call, actually, like, so I wanted to share that. As an expert, number 2, as an expert, be willing to be different. This is one of the things that this is one of the big lessons that I've learned in the past 11 years. The more I am willing to stand up and stand out with my beliefs and my path and my journey and just own my expertise and my willingness to say, I want a different life. My business started to grow more. Now, for many of us, we are the first people in our families trying to do things different. This may be in the way we parent our kids. This may be in the path we take. This may be wanting to make a lot more money than our parents made. So you may experience some resistance because you're trying to do something different than your entire family did. And that can feel scary. So if you can shift that and say, yes, it is safe for me to be different. It is safe for me to have big goals and big dreams. And as an expert, I'm going to own my expertise. I'm going to own the fact I can help people. And I'm going to do everything I can to get in front of the people who need my help the most. Your business will change, but you have to stand up and say, I am willing to do what it takes. I am willing to be different. I am willing to be seen. I am willing to shine my light and see who I attract. Be willing to do life differently. And there will be some sacrifices. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I didn't make any sacrifices and that I did do it all. There were sacrifices. I had to decide, okay, if I want to be there for my kids when they're little and I want to make money and grow my business, then yeah, I'm going to have to stay home some nights and not go out with my friends. And those were sacrifices that I did make. And the really beautiful thing is on the other side of that, now that my kids are getting older, my priorities and my relationships are shifting again, which is really cool. So it's not a forever thing, but at the beginning, when you are growing your business to where you want it to go, you may have to make some sacrifices, and it's okay. Be willing to be different. Be willing to take that leap. Be willing to say, this is what I want, and I'm going to do what it takes. And this is like one of those hard truths. And I say this because I've learned it, if you want to work 10 hours a week and make 6 figures, you actually have to work 10 hours a week. Now, before I had Olivia, who's my oldest, she's 9.5. For Blissful Eats, which was our food business, I used to sit on the couch and I used to do this. I used to scroll. And here's what I didn't do for a while. So Dan would come home from work because he was still working in New York City at that point. He would be like, what'd you do all day? And I'd say, oh gosh, I don't know, but I was so busy. When I had Olivia, she gave me the biggest gift because I realized that if I wanted to grow my business and get to where I wanted to go, I had to actually work. And I had to do this, or I had to figure out another income source. So I finally stopped doing this and started doing this. And it was so uncomfortable. I actually didn't really like it. I didn't really like selling. Now I love selling and I love sales because it means I am serving and I'm helping you and being on here telling you, if you want our help, fill out an application because I know I can help you. And now I realize if I don't sell to you, if I don't offer you an opportunity to work together so you can make your next 6 figures working 10 hours a week, I'm doing you a disservice. And I had to learn that lesson, and it was uncomfortable and it was hard. And I basically did it kicking and screaming. And the only thing that got me to do it was actually because I knew I could not go back to that teaching job and I had to figure it out. So all that to say, you have to do what matters. And if you're making your first 6 figures, what matters is selling and sales. That's what matters. That's what matters. So if you have 10 hours to work a week, then you got to be doing this. And that doesn't, here's what I want you to know, that it does not mean, I probably should have changed my color choice and used red now, but that's okay. What it doesn't mean, I'll just use orange, is long, complicated launches. It doesn't mean you have to work 80 hours a week. It doesn't mean you have to spend tons of money on ads. It doesn't mean that. It means you have to find a group of people who really want what you have and offer it to them. Simply. So these are the 3 things that matters. And when I told you that I was going to tell you the 3 things to focus on to 2, 3, 4 times your revenue, it's these 3 things. And if you are in the first 6-figure range, then this is the most important. My 4th step is rule of 1. I used to get caught up in this too. And I'll never forget one of my first mentors, Todd Herman. I was in a mastermind. I joined the 90-day year, and then we went to his live event. It was the first time I had ever left my kids for a business thing. And I joined his mastermind, and we met 4 times a year in New York City. So it was pretty convenient because it was just a train ride to the city for me. And he told me that I was going to have a really hard time growing 2 businesses at the same time, because we had Blissful Eats and then we had coaching. And I was splitting my time. I would do 1 week, I'd do 50% here, 50% here. 1 week I would do 25% here, 75% here. 1 week I would do, 40%, then 60%. I was splitting my time. And then I had kids. And then I had a lot of other responsibilities. So now the rule of 1 thing at a time. I see a lot of people who bounce from offer to offer. They do a course, and then they do a different course, and then they do I'm going to start a membership. And I get it because I have done it. But you're splitting your attention, and it also confuses people because you're offering so many things. Stop doing all the things. 1 thing. 1 thing, because if you're splitting and you're doing all of this, and it's hard to optimize. It's hard to make any of these things really great because you're always flip-flopping. And again, this was a lesson I learned many times. So stop doing all the things. Start saying no more. How many things are you doing in your life, and how many things are you doing in your business? Especially when you don't have a big team or a team or a lot of support, it's even more important that you figure out the 1 thing you want to do, the 1 thing you want to sell, and you sell the heck out of it. And you be known for that 1 thing. We live by the rule of 1s, 1 offer at a time. You'll see at the end, I will share with you our Evergreen Plus process, and that is inside of our program, 1 program. We have 2 ways you can work with us, 1-to-1 or in a group setting. And that's our Elevate program. And it's 6 months long, and we help you get to your first or your next 100K. 1 program, because we've made all the mistakes. Also, by the way, we do this with our kids too. We have 3 kids. They get 1 activity. one activity. That's like one sport, one activity. And for a lot of people, that would be like, oh my gosh, how are they only doing one thing? Well, for right now, for these years, we've decided one thing because my oldest plays lacrosse, and that is 3 times a week. And then my middle one is in gymnastics. That's 1 time a week. Okay. And my youngest has birthday parties, basically. She's only 4. But this is 4 times a week already. And if our family value is around spending time together, then this takes us not all together 4 times a week. Now, yes, permission for this to change in the future as they grow. This is us right now, but this is our family rule for right now, that we have permission to change when we want or need it to change. But we've all agreed to this right now. So we don't try and do all of the things. So we live by this in our personal life and our business. And the truth is, I don't want to be the busiest person. I know. I don't. I actually want to be the person who you could call and say, hey, do you want to go grab a cup of coffee? Say, sure. I don't want to be the busiest person. The less I do, the more I make. The less you do, the more you can make. The less you do, the better and the happier you will be. And this 5th secret is talk so people will listen. Really important. I'm communicating with you in a way that I intend for you to feel seen and heard. I get it that you may have parent or mom guilt around wanting to work more or wanting a bigger life and thinking about how is this going to affect my kids? I get it. And I also can tell you that the happier you are and the more fulfilled you are and the more living your purpose you are, the better parent you will be. And the happier your kid will be. They will, because they will see you living your purpose. And what does that give them permission to do in their life? Live their purpose. Do what makes them happy. So I want you to talk so people will listen. And here's a few ways that you can do that. Do your people desperately want what you have? Are they actively seeking a solution to the problem you solve? Do they think they have money to spend on solving that problem? Now, this is key because, for example, like we want to renovate our basement, right? And we keep putting it off because it's our basement and no one really sees it. And we don't spend that much time down there. So while I know when we renovate, it's going to be really great, the money we keep putting aside for the basement keeps being used on different things. So I don't really feel like we have the money to spend on that basement right now. In contrary, and I'll be really transparent, I love shoes, and every season I know I have money to spend on shoes. That is a problem I want solved every season because I love shoes. So I will make the money to solve my new shoe problem. So do your people think they have the money to spend on solving that problem? And do you have a way to easily reach people? And the last piece is it a growing market? Is it a growing market, not a shrinking market? If you're targeting like newspapers, it's going to be difficult because that's going down. And the goal of great messaging, everyone wants to get better at messaging, right? The goal of great messaging is for your ideal person to feel understood and seen. When you come into my community, when you are one of my clients, it's the highest priority that you feel seen and understood and heard in our community. And you right here with me, I want you to know that I do get you and what you're going through. So it's important that that comes off in your messaging and you speak like eye level to eye level and not, because sometimes when we're such experts, and I've done this too, we speak from like up here and we speak at like graduate level and our person's at like 1st grade level. And they don't get, it goes over their head what we're saying because we're speaking in language that they do not get. So how do we do this? Well, I'm going to give you the structure for my week, and then I'm going to give you some steps. So what I'm doing is I'm taking you back years ago, right when I had a newborn baby and I had to figure out, okay, how do I get to my first 6 figures? So here was my week. So really, I worked about 3 days a week at that point and worked between 2 to 3 hours. So you can structure this however you want, but what I'm telling you is you need to figure out how to put sales on the front end of everything you're doing. Sales has to be a priority, and that it's like the biggest non-secret secret there is. If you are only focusing on traffic and you're prioritizing traffic and growing your audience and not your sales, and if you're doing like, let's say, if you're doing like 2 hours of content, and I do see this, and I used to do this too. I told you I used to sit on the couch and just scroll and think I was creating sales when I wasn't, because it wasn't happening. And then you do like an hour and a half of content and you spend like 30 minutes on sales, and then you don't spend 30 minutes on sales until the end of the next week. You're going to notice things are moving really slow. But if you front end your week and your days to prioritize sales, and that's what I do. Sales come first. Sales come first because I actually can get more done in less time when I prioritize sales. So if you spend 1 hour a day on sales, and then you spend 1 hour on traffic, and then you spend 1 hour on service, and you do that for 9 hours a week, you're going to have a very different business in 3 months. And that is what we get you to do inside our program with our Evergreen Plus system. It's prioritizing selling. Because most people who are having really, really, really slow, difficult growth are not. They're doing launches and they're focusing on like the complicated launch, and they're not selling until 3 months, and then you get discouraged because you haven't sold in 3 months. The key to having a really great mindset as an entrepreneur is to make money consistently. A lot of people want to attribute it to mindset blocks, and listen, I am a master NLP coach. I am trained in how to get past mindset blocks, but not everything is a mindset block. If you're not making money in your business, of course, you're not going to feel great. So the key and how I structured my week was basically 1, 1, 1. 1 hour sales, 1 hour traffic, 1 hour service. So after you do that, I want you to come back and tell me how things are changed. Okay, so now this is our Evergreen Plus process. I'm going to walk you through, and in the center, I'm going to put just the results. These are 10K months, and this is or your next 100K. Because first we got to hit 10K months, and then we get to your next 100K. So now, really important. So what are the 3 frustrations that a lot of experts, when they come to me, are having if they're not hitting their goals? Well, the first thing that's usually a frustration is an unengaged audience. Is this you? Do you have an unengaged audience? There's nothing more frustrating, right, than putting out content and not getting a response. That's a frustration of a lot of people when they come to us before they're hitting their goals. The next frustration is low conversions. Doing long, possibly very complicated launches and having very low amount of sales. That is frustrating. Of course it's frustrating. You just put so much time and energy in, right? Of course. And the third frustration is no support. Now, this is support in the house, support with your kids, or team support. So what are the first 3 things that we need? that we need to fix? Well, the first three things that we need, and I'm going to start because I told you sales are the most important piece, is higher conversions, is raising your conversions, raising the amount of sales that you get. Okay. Second piece is building a hot audience. Now, the thing is, we don't need a huge audience. We need an audience of people who say, I desperately want what you have. It's the audience of starving people who desperately want what you have. So it's not just building any audience, it's building a hot audience of people who desperately want what you have. And the third piece is support. So how do we do this? How do we do this? So I'm not going to walk you through everything, but in our Evergreen Plus process, we help you with these three steps. We help you increase your conversion so you get more sales, so you grow a hot audience, and so you have support. So I'm going to walk you through really quickly because I know this video is getting a bit long. So if you know you want help and you know you want the step-by-step on getting to 10K months and your next 100K, fill out the application, because if you are an expert that just needs more help building that audience of people who desperately want what you have so you can hit your sales goals, fill out the application. Okay, so what are some steps that we work on and that you could start to work on right now? Well, the first thing is building that rockstar offer. Now, this isn't just any offer, like I said. This is building an offer that your people desperately want. That they're saying, I want this solution. I really want what you have. So if your people aren't feeling that way, then we need to really adjust your offer, and especially adjust your offer for sales every single week if you're not doing that right now. Okay, so that is the most important piece. We do have two other pieces to this inside our Evergreen Plus process, but I want to give you the most important. And honestly, the most important is building the offer so people desperately want what you have. It's marketing it in a way to the people who are starving for your help. Okay, and then this is selling it to them every single week. So you're getting to this goal. Okay, now with our hot audience, this is really how do I create content that magnetizes and attracts people to me so they feel seen and heard and they want my help. That's one of the three pieces. And I want to talk about the support piece because it's really important. For many people, when they first come to me, they really don't have much support in their business or their life. Now, I can't hire a babysitter for you, but what I can do is help you figure out what your trouble zone is, so you can see where you are the bottleneck and why you are stuck and not moving forward. And then the second thing we do is you need a team of people, right? You can't get to where you want to go on your own. You could, it just might take you a lot longer. And I want to give you the fast track to this. So you need a team of people. You need a team of people around you. So what we do in our Evergreen Plus system, in our program, is give you the team that we use in our business, and we help deploy it in your business. So this is your support team. These are your success coaches. So the team of people we use in our business, in our Evergreen Plus program, we give to you. So you have them, so you can get on calls with them and speak to them so they can help and support you. And that's really important because you can move faster and further when you have the team that we have used looking and guiding you and supporting you in your business. Okay, so this is just an overview of how you can start to get to those 10K months and your next 100K. Build your offer of people who desperately want what you have, and learn how to communicate that. Then that will help you have higher conversions. We want to build your hot audience with hot content that helps your people feel seen and heard. growing the audience of people who desperately want what you have. And then we want you to get support. And if you want to work with us inside our program, that's what we're going to give you. And we will give you all of these steps so you can increase your sales, grow your hot audience, and get the support that you need. So if you want help with this, then apply to work with us. I will put the link around this video somewhere and you can apply. And what I want you to know is if you are sitting here and you are saying, oh my gosh, I know I can do this. I know I can balance it. I know, or I want to know how even more. And you have big dreams and big goals, then get the help you need. Whether it's with us or someone else, get the help you need. You deserve it. You deserve it. And if you're sitting here, then chances are you are an icon in your family because you're doing something different. And every single icon needs a team of people behind them that supports them to help them get to where they want to go. So get that help and that support. I would love to hear your thoughts on this video. You can send me a DM on Instagram, or you can simply write back to one of the emails we sent you. And I'm so excited to see your application. So I'll put the link here and fill it out, and then we'll see you soon.